Welcome to this live stream. It's Farnham Town against Fleet in the Combined Counties Premier South. This is another of those rearranged fixtures. This one was due to be played in February, but here we are tonight. Lovely evening. And welcome along to this coverage of Farnham Town versus Fleet. It's the second game in 3 days for Farnham, having defeated Shearwater at the weekend. Lining up for them today is in goal Pat Nash. In defence it's Jack Dean, Joe Jackson, Max Meaton and Brandon Kalu. Mike Waters partners Harry Cooksley in midfield, and it's Dean Rule and Lewis Flatman in behind Adam Liddell and Owen Dean. Michael Kinsella back in the squad, makes the bench with Charlie Postance, Shamal Edwards and Kai Tanner. And we'll give you the Fleet lineup as well. It's Philip Shaluknizak in goal, and then they have Brad Manning, Matt Sermon, Josh Nunez, Luke Fair, Dan Bone, Argen Amatai, Farid Hakim Habib, Tommy Whitby, Mihail Marinescu and Jim Ward. On the bench it's Joe Watton, Leo Downing, Valentino Alanese and Bradley Pegg, who was initially in the starting lineup, now reduced to the bench. A late change there from Fleet, who need the win, Harry, if they're going to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's faint hopes, but hopes nonetheless.
Yeah, it's faint hopes. I think everything has to go their way tonight in order for them to have a chance. We've got some. We will try and keep you updated if you are interested in the Combined Counties Premier South. Tonight there are lots of interesting games. You've got Hawley hosting Redhill, you've got Knaphill hosting Tadley, and you've got Camberley hosting Croydon. So there's lots of playoff ramifications that will be decided tonight, with only a few games to go. But Fleet will be here to upset the unbeaten streak of Farnham Town, currently sat at 41 games. We stretch it back to last season. And in the dugout for Fleet is Farnham Town's under-23s former manager, Daryl Evans, as well as Elliot Hunt, who have done a really good job turning this Fleet team into something that has been pretty competitive this year against lots of different teams since the departure of Jermaine McGlashan, who went to manage mid-season to Croydon Athletic.
Yeah, and for Farnham tonight, obviously they want to keep the unbeaten run going, but I think they'll want to see an improvement on performance after Saturday's not horror show at the back, but certainly left a lot to be desired defensively. Obviously no Ryan Canane, but they still be disappointed to concede those 3 goals.
It wasn't vintage, was it? But at the same time, we're sorry, I've got the chicken, which I've just eaten, the spicy chicken from the Mystery Kitchen, stuck in my throat there. Yeah, it wasn't a vintage performance, but at the same time, Farnham are in a weird situation this early in the season to have games that ultimately don't matter. Now they're chasing all sorts of different records with the unbeaten streak, and you've got things like the Centurions and all sorts of different things that are in the minds of the players and the management team. But ultimately, whether Farnham put on another point or not is completely irrelevant to the situation that will find them at the end of the season. So I think for lots of these players, they're also, and Jono definitely talked about it in the changing room last game, is that lots of these players are playing for their shirt for next season as much as anything else.
Yeah, and just like Shearwater did on Saturday, Fleet have turned Farnham around. They're going to attack the clock end first half. Adam Liddell in from the start, got his goal on Saturday, as did Shamal Edwards, who's on the bench tonight. Mike Waters got his first goal, and they're 4 wins away, Farnham, from becoming Centurions.
Is it that close, yeah?
89 points they're on at the moment. Can move into the 90s tonight. 7 games to go.
Yeah, exciting times.
And they've got Thursday to think about as well. The Surrey Cup quarter-final against Croydon. So
Dan Bone, though, probably the most informed striker in the league. Number 9 for Fleet Town. Already calls to target the Fleet right back, who would have just been brought in. I think he's the player who wasn't expected to start.
Yeah, Farid Hakim Habib in for Bradley Pegg, as we mentioned. For Farnham, the changes are...
I think 17 is Marinescu as well. 17? Yeah, Marinescu. He's also been in incredibly hot form too.
So Farnham get us underway, and it's Harry Cooksley looking to target that right back for Fleet.
Couple of I'm trying to think. A couple of Fleet players play for Farnham. Matty Sermon, who I think would just passed the ball there. I'm not sure what number he's playing in tonight.
4.
Number 4, Matty Sermon. Started the season at Farnham Town and ended last season at Farnham Town, won the cup with us. And Liam Pessel, who's not playing tonight but has been instrumental as their club captain in Fleet over the last couple of weeks. The absentee at the back, who played for Farnham last season.
Brandon Kalu getting another run out at left back.
I thought it was really good on Saturday. 45 minutes.
Adam Little went in for that one. It's won there by Sermon. All the way through to Pat Nash, who's always keen with his distribution. Doesn't like to hang around. And he's looking for Little that time.
Very experienced centre-back in Jim Ward, who came in from Naphill. He's 40 years of age, maybe 39, maybe I'm doing injustice, but certainly a lot of experience at this level, and had done pretty well at Naphill over the last couple of years, but fallen out of favour slightly there and wanted to get game time and probably what is going to be his last season, and has come in and been pretty impressive, to be honest, at Fleet.
Jackson went up and won the header. Will come for Sermon though. Good touch there by Marinescu, and his effort didn't trouble Pat Nash, but an early sighter for him. Nash again going quickly to Owen Dean, who we know has a big leap on him. Gets the throw in.
That's clearly the tactic, isn't it? One thing I've noticed straight away is that Joe Jackson is playing left centre-back, where he has swapped from Max Meaton, who played left centre-back on Saturday.
There is Jackson, looking for Owen Dean, who again goes up to challenge Hakeem Habib. Flatman works infield to Cooksley.
Not Cooksley's best pass.
Nash again targeting that right-hand side of Fleet's defence.
Owen Dean did well there.
And now it's Manning. Looking down the line there
Not that.
for Amatai.
Just done himself an injustice.
Nash keeps the same tactic. Dealt with by Fleet. Second ball picked up there as well by them. Works wide to Manning.
This is where they're going to have space, as most teams do against Farnham Town in that wide areas from fullback.
Is fair. Looking to switch it across to Hakeem Habib. Owen Dean keeping him company and dispossessing him. Collected again though by Sermon.
It's been a good start from Fleet.
And they've settled on an important night for them. Harry Cooksley going in. And now Dean Rule, who was amongst the goals on Saturday.
That's a poor decision though from Jack Dean.
And an early ball looking for the informed striker there, Dan Bone. Just evaded him. Kalu. And now Owen Dean. Flatman got there, as did Waters. And now it's Dean Rule. A little bit of space for him. Finds Flatman. Maybe a shooting opportunity, just forced out wide a little bit there, Flatman. Delivered the cross, and still in play over there. I think he wanted it to run out for a corner.
I'll tell you what, Jim Ward did really, really well there. Probably got a bit lucky with it staying in play, but Flatman looked dangerous on the edge of the box. Thought he would take it a bit earlier.
Here's Rule, and that's going to bounce off him for a goal kick. Thank you again for joining us tonight. You could have easily chosen one of those Champions League ties, but
Wrongly so.
non-league action is where it's at on YouTube. We've brought many live streams to you. It's the one blessing in disguise, really, of all the Saturday postponements.
Great header from Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson's going to collect. Kalu offers himself and looks for Owen Dean, who is on his heels a little bit, but still got there ahead of Hakeem Habib, and finds Flatman. Now Adam Liddell had his back to goal, and the touch let him down. It was a firm pass into him from Flatman, but Liddell will feel he should have gathered.
Yeah, I think both the pass and the touch were poor.
Cooksley, and now Owen Dean. Told to carry it by Mark Waters.
It was a poor decision in the end from Owen Dean.
And a potential break for Fleet. Jack Dean was there, and that's his second foul in the first 6 minutes of this game.
I'm not sure about that one.
Manning. No second invitation needed for him to get forward, Brad Manning. Hakeem Habib's cross. Bone was lurking. Farnham deal with it.
Relax, relax, relax!
Kalu takes his time, and Liddell was gambling in behind Nunes there, but the Fleet centre-back was assured.
Good header from Mark Waters.
And Flatman there looking for Dean Rule.
Oh,
It's bounced into
so
the
lucky.
path there of the Fleet left-back. Now it's Marinescu. And it's his cross, just miscued it. Floats over the bar from Marinescu.
Yeah, I mean, Dean Rule did everything right, really, on the far side, and it was a lucky bounce that kept the ball in play and allowed Fleet to counter.
We'll go into it. Yes, so that's you.
Pat Nash sizing up another long one.
Fox in the box. He's tuning in from home, he says. Watching Champions League.
They've just beaten to it. Brandon Kalu went in. Marinescu comes away with it though, and he's just looking to slide in.
Oh, what's happened? I think
Whitby, who went down with nobody around him there, and that's never a good sign.
That's the 52.
And he is going to need some medical attention. Looks like his groin or hamstring maybe.
That's on. 3.
There's a bit of an opening there for Fleet, and if Whitby could remain healthy.
This is a Ramadan break as well. People breaking their fast. I believe. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'll be shocked if that player comes back on the pitch, based on how he went down. But it's been a good start from Fleet.
It has.
Leo! Leo!
Yeah, both sides have had their moments. No clear-cut chances so far, but plenty of encouragement for Fleet. Sponsored by Domino's Pizza.
Yep, and taking on board energy as we speak. People watching from Rome, people watching from Poland.
And Whitby does get back to his feet, but moving gingerly. And Leo Downing is getting ready to replace Fleet's number 14. So one change before the first whistle and another enforced just 10 minutes in to this contest. Not ideal for the visitors, but Leo Downing very capable.
Yeah, it was. As soon as you saw him go down with no one around him, you knew that was the end of his night. It's that part of the season as well where it's full of injuries, especially muscular ones, of all the games that people are having to play over the course of Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, which Farnham will contest this week. Mr. Jimmy Hibbert is also watching along. Unable to be here tonight.
Just happy to clear his lines that time. Bone went up, flicked it on, meeting away. Dean and Nunes both leaping there. It's an interesting battle. That time Meaton beaten to it, and the substitute Downing was gambling there beyond Jack Dean. Another slightly sliced clearance. Flatman. Nobody really anywhere near that one.
It actually wasn't a bad idea. It was the right sort of area. Just didn't have a striker gambling. They'd all come short. Very compact, Fleet, and they're almost going like for like, aren't they?
Jackson confidently let that one run past. And Nash was closed down there by Bone. Now it's Jack Dean. Haven't seen much attacking threat from him just yet, but I'm sure that will change as the game goes on.
We haven't seen a huge amount of attacking threat from Farnham in general, really. Flatty had a chance on the edge of the box to get a shot off and didn't manage to.
Cooksley. Searching ball. Hakeem Habib got there, but Flatman has it on the left flank. Dean, Cooksley, clever feet from Cooksley to find Dean, and now it's Adam Liddell in the penalty area.
Nice from Liddell.
Cooksley. Now we will see Jack Dean.
What a pass that is from Harry
Cooksley.
Cooksley.
Threat. Just looking to hook it over the top towards Liddell.
All I'd say back on that was probably the chance may have been for Liddell to turn and shoot on his left foot when he got into the box and ended up working it all the way backwards and around the corner, but maybe a chance could have been created for his weaker foot. Didn't back himself.
Here's Rule. Twisting and turning and getting into the box. Dean Rule. Plenty of space now for a shot. And Adam Liddell turns it in.
What a piece of play from Dean Rule. When was he going to stop? I'm not even sure. I don't know if it's gone in before Liddell, but I think Liddell's tapped it in on the line because the linesman has said that he was in line. And it's a fantastic goal, probably against the run of play for Farnham Town here early in the first half.
Yeah, Liddell receives a congratulations. He scored on the stroke of half-time on Saturday. And just like Charlie Postons, really, when one goal comes, another quickly follows. That's often the way with these strikers when they need one.
It was brilliant from Dean Rule, though. It really, really was. Dancing feet, sat the last defender down, only about a metre in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was quite Suarez against Man United, Dirk Kuyt scoring.
This is where Farnham want to make it count. Get another one quickly. Change the game. Spin it on its head.
Yeah, Dean Rule has so often been the architect.
I think he's probably been the player.
And that was a mistake by Jackson, though, and Bone looking to capitalise. Well, he struck it well. And rather like Saturday, Farnham a bit sloppy just after scoring.
Yeah, those mistakes happen, unfortunately. I was just saying that Dean Rule's probably been one of our actual form players in the last 10 or so weeks. I think he's been so consistently good. He just doesn't get the plaudits necessarily of a Harry Cooksley, of a Ryan Kinane, or even the players who've probably got on the score sheet a bit more often, like an Owen Dean. But I think Dean Rule has been one of our most consistent 7 or 8 out of 10 players for quite a long time. But a chance for Fleet.
Yeah, looking for an instant riposte. Can't beat the first man with the corner, though. Huxley gets it away. But there were no real warning signs of that goal coming. It really was Farnham's first huge opportunity, and it was converted. Adam Little finding some goal-scoring form again. Right place, right time.
Bouncing.
Yeah, contested in the middle there, and Dean
Lids will
Rule.
look for it. Oh, he didn't quite get hold of it, Flatman.
Loose touch there by Marinescu. Waters. Dan and Kalu just rushed it there a little bit.
It's a shame because it was a great chance that came out of absolutely nothing.
Kalu heads out for a throw.
Throw is pretty impressive.
Nunes. Just a high searching ball from him. Manning went in. And that was a miscue. And Nunes' attempt wasn't much better. Got lucky there that Little
pass really was.
Pick out Dean, Flatman or Rule there.
The first pass was the right pass, and he was unlucky not to thread through. Two mistakes from Fleet centre-backs back to back. Those are the ones you want to see Farnham make pay.
Yeah, they weren't always clinical on Saturday, Farnham. And they'll want to put that right today. Dean Rule controls with his chest. And Jack Dean looks over the top for Little, who beats the offside trap. And Owen Dean has space. And as does Dean Rule. And what a finish that is! Well, we've been talking about him being the form player. And that goal has really put a rubber stamp on that.
What a finish! It never felt like he wasn't going to stick in the top corner. What a first touch. What a finish. Adam Little's cushion header on the far side just to set it up was very smart forward play. It was a sensible cut back to the edge of the box. Dean Rule, one touch, bang, top corner for 2-0. And we were just saying it, if we can get two on the bounce, it changes the game totally.
Yeah, and you think that's Farnham looking to put this to bed early. Absolute stunner from Dean Rule, who just seems to get better week on week in this Farnham side.
He's grown into the position, is how I'd say. This isn't a simple formation to play. You know, we've got players that have played in similar formations for a long time. Dean Rule has spent a lot of his step five career playing a sort of left or right winger, cutting in, scoring lots and lots of goals, scored 25 a season. But this is a different requirement on him. It's more disciplined, and it gives him an opportunity to get into the box late, and that was a perfect example of how he can make the most of that. What a finish.
Farnham will want to avoid any complacency. They were guilty of it on Saturday. Keep talking about it, but...
Well, it was already 2-1. It was already 2-1 after the 2-0 on Saturday. God, I'm not sure what was better, that Dean Rule finish or my chili chicken from the Mystery Kitchen earlier. Hot donuts. What's getting me excited? Biscoff hot donuts.
Wow. Waters. Brandon Kalu bombing on down this left-hand side. Farnham choose to be patient instead, though. Flatman dropping in. And he's going to look for Owen Dean. They're getting some joy down this side, Farnham. Dean Rule's there again. Won his header. They want handball against Waters and they get it. But Farnham having a lot of joy down that right-hand side.
Not the side that the manager thought Farnham were going to get that joy. I think actually the 11 who came in late has started really, really well.
Yeah, Owen Dean actually was playing on him in the first few minutes. He's switched over to the opposite flank now. And he's been involved in the goals, Owen Dean. Farnham will want more of them.
That was a bizarre decision from Dean Rule, but he's going to get away with it.
Farnham get the throw in front of that newsstand.
It's almost become a 4-3-3. Dean Rule's kind of tucked in as an attacking midfielder, and Flatman's kind of circling around as a third forward.
Waters, now Cooksley, back to Waters. Good play between the two central midfielders. No Lamar Caroma today, he came off early on Saturday. So Cooksley back in that deeper position. Doesn't seem to matter where he plays, he always has an impact, Harry Cooksley.
He's always on the ball. Farnham always tick over much better when he's on the ball. Ooh.
That was a heavy one from Jackson and Kalu couldn't quite retrieve it.
That's probably the worst area of the pitch. It won't look like it from this camera angle, but that sort of middle side on the clock end half is the worst sort of side of the pitch from a bobble perspective. I know that sounds crazy considering the mess on the right hand side, but it's a bit flatter.
Here's Bone. And Meaton has some defending to do. It could have been awkward for Nash.
Did well though, Nash.
Volley that one out of play with Downing bearing down on him.
Yeah, he did well.
Fleet struggling now to keep hold of the ball. It's all Farnham at the moment. They have a 2-goal cushion. Owen Dean. Good initial touch, but
brilliantly
wins
won
it back there as well, Owen Dean. Now Cooksley. Jackson. Cooksley. Farnham knocking it about with confidence.
Liddell's got a bit of space.
Dean Rule. Harry Cooksley. And just didn't get enough bend with the outside of his foot there to find Brandon Kalu.
It was a clever idea. Couldn't quite execute on it, but it was the right idea.
Can Fleet find a route back into this? It's a tall order. Cooksley wanted to get it to Waters, very nearly did. And again, though, Fleet get it back and just go directly forward, and it's very rarely bringing them any success.
Well, it's difficult because at the moment Dan Bone is having to do so much work on the press that he's not there when Fleet do win the ball back.
Max Meaton, and now Owen Dean. Looking for Jack Dean, gets it back though. Waters clipping it over the top where Flatman is running in behind, and he's looking for Liddell. It was nearly a brilliant cross there from Flatman, first time.
What a fantastic move from Farnham Town that was.
Dean Rule. Got into a bit of a tangle, but Farnham keep hold of it, and that was a bit of a frustrated tackle, I think, there from Dan Bone.
I'd be shocked if that's not a yellow card.
The tackle of a man who's not had as much involvement in this game as he would have liked. Harry Cooksley in some discomfort. And the referee does reach for a yellow card.
It would have been the most surprising thing I've seen tonight if he didn't get booked for that.
Yeah, no complaints from Bone.
No.
Knew what he was doing. That is just an indicator of how frustrated they've become. Perfectly understandable. And Cooksley's all right.
He's fine, look. He's fine. I think Dan Bone was just surprised to see Harry Cooksley ever, burst a pace over 1 yard.
Flatman from right back. And now looks for Little and Dean.
Unfortunately, that's where Platty should have been when the knockdown was given, and that's where the missed shape comes in.
Yeah, Fleet flooding forward now, and that was behind Bone. He wanted it played in front of him. Move breaks down. And Farnham are looking to pass their way out of the press. And they get the throw on the halfway line.
Lewis Flampton's got away with that, I think. Tried to play a Hollywood pass. It nearly was Hollywood, but it ended up with a Fleet chance down the other end.
Jack Dean. Now Meaton. Farnham working it from right to left. Waters. Meaton, again, they're looking for that ball over the top, as they were on Saturday. Amatai, and now Brad Manning. Fleet happy to just keep the ball for a little bit.
Just to answer questions in the chat. Andrew Masters, is Canane injured or being rested? He's being rested at the moment. He played every minute of every league game and cup game for the whole season up until Saturday. So just resting him. We've got a cup run going on, which is the quarter-final here on Thursday night. So just resting him for that. He's been an important player for us.
Hakeem Habib. Brandon Kalu standing firm. And Waters getting it away. Fair. Tracked there by Rule. And it's going to drop for Owen Dean. And if he can release it. Here's Cooksley. Liddell. Looked to play it quickly and was brought down. Another late tackle there.
Got away with it a bit because it wasn't a great pass. It was an odd one actually though. Owen Dean had a huge amount of space to drive into. He just kind of laboured it back to Brandon Kalu, where he could have turned and driven out of defence with maybe only 2 or 3 players.
Farnham do seem to win a lot of free kicks in this exact position. Harry Cooksley went close with one on Saturday with Alfie Mickley denying him. Him and Flatman just debating between themselves who's going to strike this one.
I think Harry Cooksley fancies one. Both had good efforts though on Saturday. Both at either end. It'll be quite some goal from here.
It's Cooksley who goes for it, and he finds the corner quite brilliantly. Harry Cooksley, just like he did at Camberley, with an absolute blinder of free kick, and surprise, surprise, he's got another celebration ready.
He goes and sits to get his shoes shined, because that is quite some hit.
Well, Farnham are accelerating now. No sign of letting this one slip. No sign of allowing Fleet back into this game. Harry Cooksley there. And that's exactly the quality you've come to expect from him. He's got quite the highlight reel of goals this season. That might be the pick of the bunch.
I think what's also worth mentioning is that Harry Cooksley has just moved to 17 goals, only 2 back from the Golden Boot, from holding midfield.
Extraordinary performer.
You've been gifted 3 brilliant football goals in different ways, but the first goal was just a mazy run from Dean Rule. Second goal was a phenomenal finish into the top corner, and that free kick, well, you won't see many better around the grounds at any level.
Yeah, I think the end of season montage will be getting a few more clips thrown into it. That might make the cut as well.
He's having fun out there now, Harry Cooksley.
Let's hope the camera caught that one. Jack Dean with a good tackle. And now Flatman has space to run into.
He's running in sludge, Lewis Flatman.
But he keeps hold of it.
Simple now.
And anyone who did choose us over Champions League tonight has very much been vindicated with those goals.
It's been a brilliant Farnham performance so far. I'm just going to go check in. I'm not going to look at the Champions League results because I've got absolutely no interest whatsoever. But I am going to check in the goals around the grounds in the Combined Counties Premier League South. Red Hill are playing against 10 men at Hawley after 34 minutes. Hawley say it's an awful decision.
Right.
Nil-nil Croydon. Nil-nil. Looks like Nap Hill as well. I think the only goals are here. All three of them in the Combined Counties Premier League South. 4 games slated, only 3 goals, and it's Farnham Town 3, Fleet Town 0. Big derby today as well, must be said. Last time Fleet came to Farnham Town, they beat us 2-1.
Dean Rule. Adam Liddell was making a good run. It might still come for Owen Dean or Joe Jackson. Farnham really pressurising Fleet in their own half. Hakeem Habib had nowhere to go, and now Dean Rule. Owen Dean. He went for goal. Flatman wanted it. Played across to him. I think it's another one of those situations. Farnham strikers looking to help themselves to goals.
Yeah, and a 3-0. I don't actually mind it. I want to see blockbuster goals. Oh.
Just mustn't get sloppy though.
Yeah, and the midfield needs to continue to do their defensive duties, because this is where they're going to get unstuck.
Bone there looking for Marinescu. Just too much on that from Bone. But at least something for Fleet to be encouraged by. It's not been easy for them. It's not been easy for many teams here, but this first half hour in particular, it's been one of the better ones we've seen from Farnham.
It's worth noting, actually, Farnham have not dropped a point at home this season. Only 2 draws have come at Jersey away and Nap Hill away, 2nd and 3rd in the league.
Yeah, that Jersey game, the only time they've trailed as well, Farnham.
True.
Not trailed here in the league. And that'll be another record or stat they'll look to keep up. Jack Dean almost took that in his stride.
I'm still thinking about that free kick.
Yeah, it was a real carbon copy of the one at Camberley.
Yeah, it was.
A bit more height on it maybe, a bit further out possibly. Flatman's in the middle. Liddell gets there. Waters in space. Cries of shoot from the clock end. Instead, Farnham working across to Dean Rule, who's capable of anything. Flatman likewise, and he was looking to bend it into that top corner.
Don't mind that as an effort. Don't mind that.
I think they're enjoying it in the clock end tonight. It's the second game in a row that Farnham have been turned around and scored 3 goals in the first half in front of the home faithful.
Maybe that will make teams think twice. Yeah, I'd have loved to have been behind the goal for that free kick. That really would have been a fantastic looking goal from behind.
Yeah, again, we'll wait for the other camera angles of that one. I'm sure the media team will be posting that on every platform they can get their hands on.
Yeah, I mean, that's just after the Dean Rule goal, I think. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Oh, the lovely touch on his chest there by Bone, who's going to go up again to contest with Waters. And
it was more up than away.
here's Manning, and that took a nick, and it will be a corner for Fleet.
Yeah, much better from Fleet. One-touch football in and around that 30-yard mark. I want to see more and more of that. I do think Fleet should feel relatively hard done by for being 3-0 down. I think Farnham, for once, have actually been quite clinical.
Yeah, 3 moments of quality, as you said. The difference. And that is going to be another corner for Fleet.
Didn't look like it from us, but the referee's much closer.
So 10 minutes to go in this first half.
No one's picking up the man at the back post.
Fleet looking to improve the situation for themselves.
Number 17 is free at the back post. It's going to come straight out to him.
Jackson got a head on it. And it's clipped back into a decent area. Nash had to be alert. Just got a strong hand on it, and now plenty of time for Cooksley. His ball forward took a nick. And good spell this for Fleet. Can they make it count? Marinescu.
He's all left foot.
Yeah, had an overlapping run, didn't use it there, and that almost came through for Liddell.
He's onside, Adam Liddell.
Nunes going with him. Jack Dean's going to get on the end of this one. Lovely crossfield.
Not a bad pass.
Owen Dean calls for it, gets it quickly. Mike Waters wants it. And just miscued that one, Waters. Fresh off his first goal for the club a few days ago.
Yeah, it wasn't the sweetest strike then. Tried to convince me that he dinked it as I walked back to the bar with him after the game. I'm not convinced. I think it kind of hit him and spooned up in the air over the goalkeeper.
It's been a great addition for the champions. Joined from Kingstonian, who were the team Farnham conquered in the last round of the Surrey Cup. They play the next game.
But famously, he will be cup-tied. Another reason why Lamar Karoma doesn't play tonight.
Kalu.
Oh, it's well done, you!
And now it's Waters.
Look how deep Fleet are here.
That touch worked out quite nicely for Jack Dean. Owen Dean, rather. Now it's Jack Dean. Liddell at the back post. Just over the top of Dean Rule. And Liddell went in. And that just sums up the energy that Farnham have had all half.
It's been a very different Farnham. It's been a Farnham that is riled up and angry about what they saw the second half against Shearwater as a sort of light rain, sort of, I don't even know how to describe it, drizzle encapsulates the memorial ground.
Thought we were going to get a really nice evening.
I arrived to bright sunshine.
Kalu. Looking to work the space for a cross, which he mishit quite badly.
It bobbled up just before he hits it. Harry Cooksey applauds Brandon's shot.
Come on, boys, lift now, come on!
38 minutes played. And it's been a Farnham delight.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a lot of changes at half-time like we did on Saturday. It was very much a double line-up sort of occasion. Here's Owen Dean. And that's a lovely ball for Dean Rule. And somehow he's not taken probably the easiest chance Farnham have had.
I am speechless. I am speechless. How's he not scored?
I was just getting ready to say he's not going to miss from there, but he did.
I mean, the clip from Owen Dean was absolutely on the money.
Yeah, Rule just looking to head it back the way it came. It was the right idea, but...
It was a good save. It was a good save, but...
It was a good save.
You know, you should score 99 out of 100 of them, and we've just seen the one.
Liddell.
First chance I feel like Farnham have missed.
Jack Dean. Cooksley to Joe Jackson.
I imagine we'll see Michael Kinsella quite early to give either Joe Jackson or Max Meaton a bit of a break. Or maybe even give Brandon Kalu a bit of a break because we've got the least cover at left back and move Jackson into left back. But I imagine Kinsella will come on quite early in the second half.
Dean. And that's a useful pass to Flatman, who has his back to goal. And the turn and shot, he didn't get quite the contact he wanted on it. Certainly hungry for goals, Flatman.
You guys, come on!
Probably the only player to have not scored in that front area for the last 2 weeks. 3 weeks, maybe? I'm trying to think. Dean Rule has. Adam Little's got a couple. Charlie Poston's, Owen Dean. Yeah, Flatman probably the only one without a contribution.
Now, can Fleet cause some problems? They've struggled to do that so far. Dean Rule looking to get there ahead of Hakeem Habib, and that's clipped over the top for Owen Dean to chase down, and their first time effort deflected off Nunes for a corner.
And I've gone through periods of this half just thinking about what happened last. I'm still getting over how Dean Rule's missed that chance. And also, if he sticks it in, he becomes a real contender for Golden Boot. I think he would have gone to 14 or something.
Harry Cooksley stands over the corner. And it's a deep one. Jack Dean was waiting. It's going to come for Joe Jackson. Waters. And the press from Fleet has forced Farnham backwards a little bit, but they quickly come forward again with Flatman finding Cooksley quite beautifully. And it's Harry Cooksley into a decent area. It's going to come for Waters.
Wanted him to shoot.
Yeah, no cries of shoot from the clock end that time. That's a... Well, I think Jackson was looking for Jack Dean there, but Owen Dean took it off him.
That was quite annoying, actually. I think it was a perfect pass for Jack Dean.
Here's Jackson. And now Harry Cooksley. It's very routine at the moment.
Yeah, I think my only worry is that we take the foot off the accelerator like we did against Shearwater.
Little just looking to thread it through for Dean. Cut out in a nick of time though, and down bones the target, but that's going to roll through. Lots of time and space for Brandon Kalu now.
The game has totally opened up.
Dean Rule try and keep hold of it very well.
Really good from Farnham Town. Really good.
Jack Dean again is making that run, and again they're trying to thread it through. They'll have a needle there to find him.
Chance here.
How's Adam Little's touch? Well, lets it bounce, and it's going to work out for him, I think. Little.
Oh, Flatman was in if he found the pass.
Cooksley looking for Owen Dean, making that inside-out run. And Cooksley can't keep that one in.
It was the wrong decision to try and find Owen Dean. The play was to go to the back post towards Lewis Flatman.
So Farnham Town just a minute or so away from going into the break. 3 goals to the good.
Dean Rule says it came straight off the perm.
Jackson
Does really well, now needs to use it.
now Dean just got himself into a bit of a mix-up there, but chases after it. Farnham just seem to be picking up all those balls at the moment.
Sensible from Mark Waters, just to reset and go again. This has been a really, really enjoyable Farnham Town first 45 minutes.
And they're probably happy just to see the rest of this half out, unless there's time for one more attack. Liddell, he's behind Nunes, and he finds Owen Dean. It was heading for the target there from Owen Dean. Decent effort. Just enough bodies in the way, though. to keep this at 3-0 for now.
It was a brilliant pass from Brandon Kalu. It was great pace and power from Adam Little to get around the outside. Looks much more confident now. He's got a couple of goals under his belt in the last sort of 90 minutes of football.
Clock end demanding 4 before half-time.
I would say they're spoiled, but they've seen a beautiful, beautiful Farnham Town performance in this first half. And it didn't start like that in the slightest.
And Farnham are in the 150s now for goals scored this season in all comps. Kalu with the foul there on Amatai. They look to get on with it quickly. And it
Great
might
touch.
come for Bone. Just looks to flick it over there for Marinescu.
This would change the team talk.
Manning's come to the right-hand side. Decent cross, but just too high there for Downing, who's not the tallest. But the Fleet coaching staff not going to give this one up, but still looking to wheel their team on. And you would think this is the final action. You'd think the queue for the Mystery Kitchen's about to build up. Still is a little bit of time. There was the injury, of course, to Tommy Whitby in the first 10 minutes, so that's why we're still going here. Bones flick, away by Jackson.
Chance.
And the
Chance
man over is ignored. Manning was maybe the better choice there for Marinescu.
He's a man in form.
But they've swapped the fullbacks over, so interesting tactical moves by Fleet.
Imagine Farnham will just swap the players over as well.
Flatman's going to go out for that one. Sermon beat him to it though, and they're going to look for Bone again, who had to pull out to the left. Just about kept it in, but it actually benefits Farnham. And that is the first half done and dusted. A really good first half for Farnham Town. Adam Liddell made it 2-2 for him with the tap in after Dean Rule's good work, and then Dean Rule himself with what we thought would take some beating for the goal of the night. But Harry Cooksley made it 3 with a direct free kick. He's become a bit of a free kick specialist, Harry Cooksley.
He has, and it was a really, really good free kick, but that was just the third goal. The other 2 goals were quite brilliant as well, both involving Dean Rule, one being an assist where he jinked inside a few players in the box and rifled it across goal, and Adam Little was there on the line to turn it home, and then the second was a beautiful, beautiful finish from Dean Rule, arriving late, stuck it into the top corner with aplomb. Really impressive Farnham first half display. I do have Ryan Canane coming up to talk to you.
Wow.
Which I'm not sure you'd expected.
No.
Excuse me, mate. If you could open the gate for the man, that would be very appreciative. Look at him. I'm not sure is he going to touch the ceiling when he stands in here?
Club captain Ryan Canane makes his way up.
Careful of the wires. No one will listen to you. Right, I'll give you the mic. Yeah, hold it as if it's like here.
Oh, perfect. What a view up here.
It's not bad, is it? We've had some comments on the stream asking if you're all good, if it's just a rest tonight.
Yeah, it's just a bit of extra rest. So I've been playing with a knock for the last couple of weeks, so 10 days or so to recover, and then I could have played tonight, but we're not sure how it reacts. So yeah, I'll be good for Thursday, and then hopefully it doesn't react in the rest of the games in the run-in. I should be all good. So yeah, it's nice to get a night off when the team are playing like that.
Yeah, what do you make of the first half?
No, we played well. To be fair, I think the first probably 10 minutes was pretty 50-50, 5-10 minutes. I thought Fleet started all right, and then, yeah, we just seemed to go through the gears. I think Rowley for the first goal got to the byline, cut it back, and then obviously Rowley again for the second with a great touch and finish. So yeah, we've just been a lot more clinical than we were at the weekend, which obviously John O asked for at half time. So yeah, it's been good. I think although we won on Saturday, there was a few tough messages about, trying to keep the standards and the unbeaten run, and it's a derby. So no, it's been good. And then obviously Cooksley with a bit of magic.
Yeah, not to dwell on the negative to Saturday, because I mean it was a win and you scored 5 goals, but I imagine like you just touched on there was a bit of, whether you put it down to complacency or just not playing at 100% because of the 5-1 lead.
It is tough, and I think we know it's tough. Sometimes you can go through the motions a bit in games where it's almost gets a bit too easy, and you're 5-1 up, and you know you're not going to lose the game, and you know you've got a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday coming up. So you do try and do the bare minimum. However, we just got really sloppy and some basic mistakes, and look, we know we shouldn't be conceding goals like that, but in the long term it's a win. It's probably a bit of a rocket just before these next few games, so hopefully I took that on board, and obviously by that first half it looks like we have, so hopefully we just keep that going forward and learn from our mistakes on Saturday in the second half.
What is the motivation for the players at the moment? Obviously you want to keep the unbeaten run going and maintain the high standards, but with the title being sewn up, is it inevitable that you're going to get a bit of a drop off just from a mentality perspective?
I think that, look, there's always going to be a drop off. I think everyone thinks we've got this massive squad. We don't. We're probably 16, 17 players at a push. So there is going to be fatigue. We're going to need everyone to, play their fair share of minutes over the next 2-3 weeks. I think obviously with it all being sewn up and the league done, the only thing is that I'm unbeaten. You don't often, in people's careers, they're not going to get many chances to go unbeaten. So we've got to embrace it, and obviously everyone still wants to be that first team to beat us and have that sort of bragging right. So yeah, for us it's just about making sure we do the, what's got us to this point every single week and keep pushing on, basically.
And there's obviously another, you touched on Thursday, an opportunity for another big moment. We've seen Farnham win domestic cup competitions in the last year or so. FA Vars wasn't to be this year, but, people watching on the stream now, the importance of Thursday, I think it's probably something that want a big crowd for, or a big stream audience for as well. It's a big night, isn't it, on Thursday? Yeah, no,
look, it's a big game. Croydon are obviously, a good side that, we've got to again play in the league. So it's going to be a tough game, and like we just spoke about in terms of what is the motivation for the end of the year. Well, there's still more silverware to be had. So it's 3 wins, and you've won a cup. So that's the other motivation. We got this far in it. There's nothing else to play for in the league. So why can't we go and win it? Obviously some tough games ahead, some big teams still in it. But that should be the motivation in terms of can we? I believe we play Sutton or Carl Shorten in the next round. So yeah, look, there's plenty to play for and keep us going, I guess. So
yeah, and speaking of keeping going, I think that's probably something we want to see in the second half here. We did see on Saturday a bit of a drop off. What do you think the half-time team talk's going to be like in there?
I think it's just going to be similar message before the game in terms of be ruthless. Leave nothing out there, come out for 20-25 minutes and really kill the game off. If we do get chances, which we had on Saturday, Saturday could have been 6, 7, 8s if we took our chances and were clinical. So I think that's going to be the message. Make sure this game's done, make sure we get the next goal, maintain momentum, and then obviously I'm sure we'll see the boys on the bench get minutes and start resting some bodies for Thursday. But I guess the thing is making progress from our mistakes on Saturday, not getting sloppy towards the end of the game, and just killing the game off and managing it well.
You've not missed many games this season. Is it quite frustrating watching on and not being able to control anything out there?
It's not frustrating when obviously Saturday it was comfortable win. Should have been more. Yeah, the goals we conceded, that annoyed me. It was you do take pride in conceding X amount of goals over a season. I'm a defender, of course I'm going to say that. Tonight's been enjoyable to watch. But yeah, I'm itching to get sort of back involved now. You know, I'm not very good at floating about and resting and not being a part of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back Thursday and and hopefully Saturday and the following week. But I've enjoyed a bit of rest time. I haven't had much over the last few seasons. So
how have you found it in general this season? Obviously, you've played at a higher level before. This has been, obviously no secret, a bit of a step down for you in terms of the division you're playing in, but the standards, the quality of the team, the squad, the management. What's your sort of looking back at this whole campaign? What would your comments be on it?
It's been positive. It's been enjoyable. I think. Look, there's no secrets in terms of what we had to achieve. There was no two ways about that. We had to go and win the league, go and get promotion. Again, no secrets on that. But how we've done it is sort of been the most enjoyable thing in terms of every single week. We turn up. We don't just go through the motions, we sort of keep pushing each other. And look, when you're playing with good players, it's sort of easy to do, and that's what makes it fun. There's been different challenges this year than probably other seasons, mentally in terms of staying switched on in games when you're 3-4-0 up and you've got the game and you just got to manage it. And yeah, look, we've played some good football and scored a lot of goals and if you're doing that, you're having fun. But yeah, at the same time, I can't wait for next season sort of to start and different challenge and see how we compete in the league above. So yeah, plenty to look forward to, but no, it's been good fun this year. I think a lot of the boys that have also dropped down have really enjoyed it. It's a good club, good atmosphere around it, club going in the right direction, so there's plenty of positives outside of just playing the football.
And what do you think the expectations are going to be for next season?
It's hard to say because obviously you see, what sort of teams are dropping down potentially. The likes of Hayes and Yedding and who's not going to go up in the playoffs, and you don't really know sort of what squads teams are going to have or how you look in pre-season or how players are going to adjust. Over them first 4 or 5 games at a different level. So it's going to be interesting. I believe we should be at the right end of the league with the players we've got and sort of players with pedigree at that level and above. It isn't going to be easy by any stretch of imagination. We're going to have to push each other. There's going to be plenty of ups and downs along the way, I'm sure. But no, I'm looking forward to getting going and sort of really sort of challenging ourselves. There's also going to be some big games, a lot of local derbies, so it should be good fun and some proper football games.
Absolutely.
I've got a couple of questions for him before he finishes. Who are your picks for top goal scorer? Harry Cooks has put another one on.
Yeah.
Lids put another one on, and Dean Rule's starting to come through.
How far away is Dean Rule?
Dean Rule's quite a way back. I think he's like 4 or 5 back, and Cooksy's now only 2 back.
Yeah, well, Cooksy won't be on free kicks when I'm back, so that's him ruled out.
Shams on 19, Owen Dean's on 17, Cook's on 17.
Yeah, I think Shams might just edge it.
Charlie's coming
Is
through.
it just league goals?
No, that's all comps.
All comps. Yeah, I think
Charlie's
Shams
on 16, I think.
Yeah, I think Shams is going to edge it. I feel like, I know he's on the bench tonight, but he must be licking his lips to get on and biting at the bit to go score some goals. So, I put my money on Shams, but
it feels like the next person to score a brace is going to be the player who's going to go up and do it, right?
When Owen Dean scores, he tends to score in bunches, so he's got a hat-trick in him, so it wouldn't surprise me at some point if he gets 2 or 3 in a game and just starts to moan. It'd be interesting to see, to be honest, but yeah, I just think Shams with the lead at the minute is probably going to edge it. But
and then how many points do you think Farnham Town finish on? The points tally is we're capable to get to 110.
We're capable to get to 110.
We've got how many games left? This is 30 seconds, so
maybe 108.
108.
I think, yeah.
You think we go unbeaten, 1 more draw?
Yeah, maybe 2 draws, 106, 108. There's a lot of games in there. It's
that's the problem, right?
Fatigue in the last couple of weeks is going to be, and if we go right through in the cup, you've got to fit them in somewhere. So
I think what's been most impressive is we've had our hardest fixture spell in the last couple of weeks. We had Jersey, we had Knapp Hill, we had Croydon, we had Abbey. And we dispatched, or at least got through all of those without being hit too hard.
Yeah, sometimes in football, it's kind of. And the teams at the bottom are the hardest to get up for. because when you know you're playing, I know we were awful, but you're going to Jersey away. You know it's going to be a tough game. Like Nap Hill away on the Tuesday, that's going to be a tough game, and it's a big game. So automatically get yourself up. When you're playing someone at the bottom at home, it can be dangerous that people drop their standards or think it's going to be too easy. As we saw for 15 minutes at the end of the Shearwater game at home, and that's what happened. So
I think that also shows that a drop in standard in this league, it's not just a one-way traffic, right?
No,
you drop your standards for 10, 15 minutes, you can get punished.
Yeah, exactly. And I know we weren't great and it was difficult circumstances, but out of the last probably 8 weeks, Colliers Wood away was probably the toughest game.
Absolutely.
Apart from Jersey, take Jersey out of that to be fair, but Colliers Wood were, 1-1-0, but it was, you didn't think we were going to win at some point, and they're bottom of the league, and everyone had it as a walkover. So it just goes to show that there isn't much in these games. I know sometimes we go score 3 or 4, but it's just generally a few moments of quality rather than a.
And that's what it's been today. I know we discussed it already, but it feels like Farnham have been clinical today. Bar Dean Rule having a sponge off his perm.
Dean Rule can't edible, so it's allowed. But no, look, he's made up for it with obviously a goal and an assist. But
I think we were saying he's probably been one of our most consistent performers in the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, I think he started the season really well, and then I think he just went for a spell. I don't know if he had a niggle where he's just lost his form a little bit. But last 10 weeks he's been brilliant. To be fair, over the course of the season, everyone has. You don't do what we've done without multiple people carrying and playing their part. So no, he's been good.
Well, Michael Kinsella's shorts are rolled up.
Yes.
The Vicks is out.
Yeah.
the deep heat's ready.
There's steam coming off him if you zoom in. From the amount of deep heat on.
We are nearly ready for this second half.
Yeah.
Ryan, thank you very much for
No,
joining
thank
us.
you for having
Cheers,
me.
mate. And we'll see you after the game in the bar. Cheers, buddy. All right.
Cameo appearance there from the club captain.
Perfectly timed for us to get on with the second half. Doesn't look like there's going to be any changes. I'm just trying to spot it. No. Oh no, Kai. Kai's on. Okay, Jesus, who's he come on for? There's Dean Rule. Are we just picking him up? Hooked.
Dean Rule?
Dean Rule, isn't he?
Is that
no, he's 21. Oh, hold on. Kai's ready. Who's Kai coming on for then? Is Jack Dean out there? Jack Dean, yeah.
Owen Dean is there. Little's there.
Joe Jackson. Max. Brandon. Where the? Who?
Cooksley.
Harry Cooksley. Kai's going to come in and play on the 8. I'm so not used to Harry Cooksley being taken off.
No.
But
Oops.
let's not get away from it. Harry Cooksley has been hooked on 45. What I would say is that is a look to Thursday, and a look to Thursday with Mark Waters not being able to play in mind. Adam Liddle is also unavailable on Thursday.
Kai Tanner has been very useful though for Farnham in recent weeks and months. Seen a lot more minutes, as Ryan Kinane was alluding to. It's not the biggest squad for Farnham, so every squad player does really get plenty of game time, especially this second part of the campaign that we're in now. Tanner, of course, on the score sheet in the famous title-winning game at Jersey. But it's another 45 minutes ahead of the champions now, where, as Kinane was saying, they'll want to keep standards high, and I'm sure they would love a clean sheet.
Yeah, good to hear from Ryan. Good to hear that he's feeling good and ready for Thursday.
Fleet looking to start this second half positively.
What a pass
that
that
is a splendid ball, just not quite kept in.
God, that could have been perfect for the highlight reel for Kai Tanner.
Fleet have kept Hakeem Habib at left back, where he finished that first half. So interesting that they've made that switch with now Manning on this right flank. Maybe his attacking ability is looking to be used a bit more down there, with Jack Dean obviously defending him pretty well in that first half. Brandon Kalu stays on. He was only a part of the Saturday fixture for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a really positive sign, especially with the amount of games coming in.
And it's Kalu that was tracking back there, but an opportunity for the cross. Nash and Dean both going for it. Nash was decisive.
Yeah, Dean pulled out, got the call from his goalkeeper.
And Little went in and won that. And he quickly looked to release Owen Dean. Very confident now, Adam Little.
It was the right pass, just not quite executed correctly. As Fleet looked to waste time, 3-0 up, 3-0 down even.
Waters calls for it. You so often hear his voice when the ball is up in the air in the centre circle, and Dean Brawl is having a lovely time out there. His highlight reel's getting more and more content in it.
I'm going to enjoy watching Kai Tanner play in a more natural position for him.
Flatman looking to be strong there. Gets the decision. Tanner. And now Jack Dean, pressurised there by Downing, but Farnham keep hold of it.
Good pass as well from Max, kept it safe. Took the pressure off Nash.
And he's looking for Flatman. One there by Jim Ward. And now it's Manning. Amatai. Waters staying with him and not getting the decision that he felt he deserved. And the referee wants a word with him for his reaction to that non-decision. Got to be careful not to show too much dissent.
Yeah, there is sin bins in this league. That might actually work for him.
Yeah, Neaton got there and got the throw. If Fleet can get the next goal, then...
Yeah, you feel like the next goal is going to be critical to the pace of the next half of football.
Little holds it up. Now we're in Dean. Tanner.
Great header.
Dean's flick finds Little. Now Tanner. Patient play from Farnham.
Oh, I've just seen that Mark Waters is wearing the captain's armband.
Dean latching onto that. Out it goes.
Obviously, Kingstonian's captain, Mark Waters, when we brought him in.
And that's just a nod to his leadership that he's brought to this team since arriving from Kingstonian.
Yeah.
Very vocal player, leads by example. Dean Brule just caught on it there, but strong enough to keep hold of it. And now Flatman, and that has kind
Play
of
the pass.
broken the Fleet lines a little bit. Jack Dean looking to deliver the cross, pretty straightforward for Ward.
Yeah, it was Don't want to get caught in the sandpit. Drop your comments in the YouTube comments box below if you're watching about what you reckon the final score in this game is going to be. Ooh, good tackle.
Yeah, the left back there, Akeem Habib, went in firmly. The late addition to the lineup.
Yeah, I want to see score predictions. I want to see where you're watching the game from. Had a few, one from Poland, one from Rome, one from Jimmy Hibbert's sofa.
Clock enders remind Farnham that they want more goals. Plenty of time to find them.
Done that a couple of times, Joe Jackson.
Just ahead of Kalu there.
I don't imagine it'll be long before we see the substitutions made by Paul Johnson.
And Downing was in the mix there, as was Jack Dean. Nunes went up, Tanner's going to collect. and look to release Little straight away. And it stays in for Adam Little there somehow. Options in the middle. Owen Dean, one of them. Dean Rule, another.
I thought he'd shoot.
Lewis Flatman might. Instead, it's Owen Dean again. Farnham again, very patient in their build-up.
I can't believe Dean Rule didn't have a slash at it. The stand opposite us, this new standing stand, which will have a sponsor unveiled in the next week or so, is filling up.
Jack Dean will keep this in play. Dean Rule. Here's Tanner. Looked as though he was shaping to shoot there, Tanner, but this is noticeably patient from Farnham. And they're going to get a throw in line with the 18-yard box, taken quickly. The Dean brothers exchanging passes.
I quite like that chant.
Yeah, we've got Kinsella back, shouts the clock end. And that's a lovely little dummy there by Flatman, who almost got on the end of Little's flick. Nearly another perfectly executed dummy by Flatman after the Sanders free kick at Red Hill, which I get very fun of about.
Dummy run. Great moment. Great moment. Some people watching from Canada. A Farnham exile in Northampton reckons it'll be 5-0.
Yeah, they're really knocking it about with swagger at the moment, Farnham.
Can't remember the last time Fleet passed the ball.
Flatman gets his head up and, well, that's a really good cross. Adam Little was going in, almost got a foot on it, but that was a really good area that Flatman found there.
It was a really, really good ball in from Lewis Flatman. As Michelle Willis is watching from Sunbury. She's Lewis Flatman's nan. Go Farnham. Well, Flatty put in a great ball there. Did stretch for it in the far post. Probably a ball that you'd like to see Charlie Postance get to at the back stick. I'm sure we'll see him shortly. In fact, we're seeing Shamal Edwards first.
Edwards, who leads the top goal scorer charts at the moment, thanks to his effort on Saturday. Took him a few chances, Edwards, but it was a really good finish in the end for the goal.
It was old school Shamal Edwards. Touch, shoot.
Hope to see more of that from him when he enters the fray very shortly. Flatman in space. Little running beyond him, and Fair tried to tug him back, but Farnham keep going. Flatman again. And they left it to each other there, Rule and Flatman.
And Fleet have a chance here.
This game has become a bit stretched, but
That was
Amateur's pass was not what he was looking for. Dean. And it's
Great
a lovely
pass.
1-2 between Owen and Jack Dean. And Owen Dean again here. And a good strike. And at the back post was Dean Rule to make it 4.
It just did it go in? What's happened? But yeah, it is 4-0. Dean Rule read it. It was a really good save from the goalkeeper. The Fleet Town defence didn't react, and it's Farnham Town 4, Fleet Town 0.
Yeah, Dean Rule missed a good chance earlier. He was never missing that one though. And a really good strike initially from Owen Dean after some good play between him and Jack Dean. So Farnham are really moving the ball nicely tonight, and they're getting their just desserts. And they are going to introduce Shamal Edwards for Lewis Flatman. He's obviously frustrated he's not scored tonight, but all smiles nonetheless. Applauds the clock end. He's had a good influence tonight, Flatman. And my co-commentator gives him a rapturous applause.
I've also just asked my good friends at Opta Town what number goal that is for Dean Rule. I want to confirm now he's got 2 and he's still on the pitch. And let's not forget, he missed from 3 yards out earlier.
Yeah, he's not just a scorer of great goals, Dean Rule, as we saw with that volley earlier. He's often right place, right time.
He's quite old school in the way he plays, Dean Rule. I'm trying to find the numbers myself. Dean Rule.
His goal on Saturday was inside the 6-yard box. That one there was from a yard out.
That puts him to 13. So 6 back, but plenty of games to go, and he's still on the pitch.
And he's not really someone that you'd look to drop.
No, not at all.
But Shamal Edwards is going to be making runs in behind for this next 33 minutes, that's for sure.
Tell you what, Adam Liddell has looked fantastic today. He's looked like the old Adam Liddell. We lost him in a drought of form.
Gets it here from Owen Dean. Liddell. Ball was just ahead of him. But 33 minutes, and I'm sure Fleet wish it was a lot less than that.
It's got the whiff of a Shearwater. I just hope he doesn't finish like Shearwater.
One of their players getting a nice rub down. Down below me.
Manager is incandescent below me, with I think former Farnham man Matt Sermon. And I think he might just be about to get hooked, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it.
Waters. Farnham without Harry Cooksley for the second half, but they've not lost any of their control.
They're purring Farnham.
Owen Dean looking to chase it down. He's going to be penalised. There's been a couple of those decisions that the referee has blown up for. And Charlie Postance, just a minute or 2 after Shamal Edwards was introduced, is going to also be brought on.
It's not what you want to see when you're 4-0 down, is it? Shamal Edwards and Charlie Postance coming on the field.
Owen Dean teased about not scoring, shakes his head as he comes off. Interesting that they're taking off the players that have not scored.
Look, I think they've been 2 really good performers, Owen Dean and Lewis Farnham. It probably nods towards what we're going to see on Thursday. Let's not forget that Liddell cannot play Thursday. Neither can Mark Waters. But Liddell not being able to play Thursday means that you can give him 90 today. And it looks like we're going to go 4-3-3.
Kalu looking for Edwards and finding him. Postance getting into the 6-yard box. Is going to be a corner.
Yeah, classic 4-3-3. Dean Rule in the 10. Wouldn't be shocked to see Tanner and Rule kind of switch positions every now and then, depending on the situation in front of them.
Dean Rule on a hat-trick.
He has got a hat-trick already this season against Rayners Lane at this very ground.
It's his corner. Looked like it was going to come for Postance. Does come for Jackson! Got a good connection on that. Jackson with his left foot.
My life flashed before my eyes. Joe Jackson with his swinger.
And that time, him and Meaton almost got in a bit of a tangle. All is good, though.
I think the adrenaline got the better of him there. That was quite some strike from Joe Jackson. I mean, he's unlucky anywhere other than straight at the goalkeeper. That's in.
Yeah, right down the keeper's throat, unfortunately.
Malcolm Puttock shouts out Liam Puttock, who's our official match day and club photographer, young man who's come into Farnham this season. Oh, that was poor.
Yeah, that was sloppy from Jackson, looking to bring it out of defence, and now Bone. They just can't orchestrate a chance out of it. Not able to punish the mistake there. They haven't been gifted any opportunities like that tonight, but that was one.
That felt very Shearwater. Just switched off, tried to do too much. Farnham need to get themselves back in raise their standards. The score could be anything tonight if they really, really go for it. But yeah, just saying how well Liam's done. Club photographer, everything you see online, be it graphics or just the photos, obviously are being used for the graphics. They've done an amazing job, and that's LJP Photos on Twitter and Instagram.
That was nice from Dean Rule. So only one more change available to Paul Johnson. It is Michael Kinsella. Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Max Meaton come off.
Here's Edwards. Kaitana.
Shoot Kai.
He clips it over the top, looking for Postance. Might come for Edwards! And, well, having scored on Saturday, you thought he might have been a bit more assured there, Shamal Edwards. As we do now see Michael Kinsella make his return. Been a long absence.
It has. He's been at Ashford, picking up some minutes after a nasty knee injury. Michael Kinsella is back. I want to tell you that Michael Kinsella is one of 2 players in this Farnham squad to have never dropped a point, never not one, 100% win rate. He gets a big cheer coming home. The waft of deep heat beneath me as Michael Kinsella steps back onto the pitch at Farnham Town, a champion. As Tadley Kilava lead 2-0 at Knapp Hill.
Goodness gracious. The race for the playoffs is really hotting up the last 3 weeks of the season.
Croydon are winning 2-0.
Good momentum for them coming into Thursday.
And Red Hill lead 2.
So Fleet losing ground in there.
Fleet will...
Faint hopes.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to do it based on their games played.
That might come for Shamal Edwards.
Ooh, I thought that was going to be a really good touch. Ended up being the opposite.
And they've got another problem here, Fleet. Another injury concern. And that would allow a breather for Farnham. Adam Little comes
Marinescu,
over.
isn't it?
In full voice over there.
They're enjoying themselves, the Farnham Army. Keith Deere says, I was supposed to be watching Gateshead versus Aldershot, but as that game has been called off, so I'm now watching this one. Come on the town.
Again, very grateful that people choose this over the Champions League.
What I would say about Knapp Hill losing to Tadley, not only does it bunch up the playoff race, but also it plays Jersey right back in, only 3 points back of Knapp Hill with a game in hand. And Jersey will be looking at it thinking, we could host the playoffs. And is that a massive advantage? Certainly an interesting one. I was talking to Jono earlier about it, and they said that some of the players actually would rather play away,
Right.
because it's less of a cup final for other teams. Because going to Jersey on its own is like such a big event.
Well, Farnham certainly found it tough at Jersey this season.
It's never an easy place to go, but a place you can always get yourself up for.
Yeah, on and off the pitch. They wanted the free kick against Jackson there, didn't get it though. Ward. And Downing couldn't quite get that one right. Kinsella in his first action since returning to Farnham Town. Keem Habib. Stolen off him by Liddell. He was brought down there by Sermon. Lucky not to be carded there, really, Sermon, but Farnham get on with it quickly. Waters slightly sloppy, but as
He's
was
good. To be fair,
fair.
this is very good refereeing. Is he not going to book him?
No.
He walked over as if he was. I spoke too soon. That wasn't very good refereeing.
Go, boys, come on!
Waters. And now Kinsella
Go, Leo, go on, go on!
waited a little while before passing to Jack Dean. Tanner dropping in. Ward straight back to Pat Nash. Just a couple of touches for Kinsella. He's looking to feed his way back in.
Yeah, I think he's played two 90s in the last 2 weeks.
Given away there by
Kinsella.
And that's good work by Fair. Liddell continues to pressurise the Fleet defenders. Nice touch by Jackson. And
That's
now
good.
He's released Tanner, who
That's very good.
now finds Jack Dean. He's going to burst forward now. And just brought down there by Downing. Went for the ball, but
Yeah, it was a foul. It is a yellow card just because of him coming from behind. He's unlucky though. I know he does try and get the ball.
yeah, I think Dean probably kicked his foot, but still a foul.
I'm not sure he won the ball. I think he kicked Jack's foot, which ended up kind of just following it through. But this is a good opportunity.
Yeah,
We've
the
seen
middle.
one free kick already today.
Little's going to make this his. He's hit the bar from a similar position.
It's a real pick-em, isn't it, Farnham Town's free kick takers?
Yeah, a lot of capable individuals out there.
I can't see Charlie Postons bash one.
But it is going to be Liddell. Scored one already tonight. And he hit the target. Edwards with a poacher's finish. 2-2 for Shamar Edwards, and it's 5-0 Farnham.
And Shamar Edwards becomes the first Farnham player to hit 20 goals this season. And that's a striker's finish. Really, really good, and the goalkeeper will be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, probably should have done better there, Chalip the Shack, but that was what you want to see from Shamar Edwards, following in, reading where that was going to end up. And just like Liddell, just like Postons, after a bit of a drought, it's 2-2 for the Farnham frontman. It's funny how these things work out.
It is now. Charlie Postons will be desperate for a goal.
Yeah, it's a real luxury, really, that Farnham have got all these forwards that are in double figures.
Play the pass.
And they'll threaten the season record with Edwards bearing down on goal again. Shamar Edwards almost scored again there. Liddell! And now Dean Rule on a hat-trick. Turned down the shot.
I can't believe what I'm watching. It is like Shearwater all over again. Shamar Edwards did really well, actually. I think it was a really good save onto the post. I'm not sure, couldn't really see. But it was really nice link-up play by the Farnham Town forward line from Liddell to Shams. Really, really nice. Farnham look rampant and want more goals.
Yeah, 6 is the most they've scored in a game this season.
Never done it to 0. Did it to 1 against Alton.
At home under the lights, it's where they thrive. Kinsella. And now Tanner.
He quite like a goal as well, Kai Tanner.
Again, just a tiny bit sloppy at the back. But that's a nice touch from Edwards, who's really got the bit between his teeth. And that was handball by him. But he's very keen out there. The 20-goal striker.
God, it's nice to have a player on 20 goals. It really is.
Yeah, they've been shared around a lot this season, that's for sure. As Kinsella looks to just shepherd that back to Nash. They want the pass back. Strong claims there, but ignored.
It certainly wasn't intentional, was it? Not sure he knew what he was doing.
Tanner. And it's Edwards. Waters again. Tanner, seen plenty of it.
He has. He's been good since he's come on, Kai Tanner. I like him in this 8 role.
Deanborough just showed a bit too much of it there to his opposite number, but regains it quickly. Jack Dean. Beats his man, Jack Dean. Turns back. Paul Johnson just encouraging Farnham to move it about a bit quicker.
It's where Farnham have had the most success all seasons when they move the ball fast. Jack Dean is in absolute acres of space.
And Kinsella looks for Postance now. Charlie Postance. Just nudged off it, gets the corner though. He was looking for his 3rd in as many games.
I think Kinsella was meant to play that to Jack Dean. But if I didn't mention that, it would look like a brilliant pass to Charlie Postance, who should do better, to be honest.
I think you're right about that, but we'll give Kinsella the benefit of the doubt.
Kai Tanner wants the ball.
Little's cross, Postance at the front post, and that is out of the ground.
Oh, that's going to be a complaint tomorrow morning from the neighbours.
Fleet coaching staff trying to rally the troops.
Another moment of interest at Sham's goal. I've just been told it's also his 50th goal involvement in a Farnham shirt.
Wow. Waters' header. Waters gets in there again. Now Tanner. Little.
As it stands, AFC Croydon and Red Hill enter the playoff spots. Tadley Kaleva, only 2 back of Red Hill with 2 games in hand, are also winning.
Kept in there by Kalu. Farnham have just really dominated possession tonight. Now it's Fleet's turn. Let's have a bit of the ball. Hakeem Habib. And now Watton, the substitute. Nunes, not sure he wanted that one, but it does well to dribble his way out of trouble. Keeps going, Nunes, and that's a centre-back in the final third. He's out of position, though. Little looking to exploit that. Fortunately, Manning was getting back in.
Really, really good defensive play.
Just not giving Fleet a moment to breathe at the moment, Farnham out there. And when you're resigned to appealing for yellow cards for things like that, you know it's not
15 to go.
Not your night.
We're 5 down. Fleet would have come here thinking they could upset the streak, which will move, you'd thought, to 42 unbeaten.
Yeah, 32 of which have been in this league campaign. Standards remain high. Motivation remains high. Lots of players out there looking to add to their tallies. Rule just tried being a bit too cute there.
Farnham will want another at least.
Shall I make that?
You're good! Hold, Leo! Leo, hold! Hold! Relax! Relax! Stay high!
Joe Jackson really starting to feel at home at centre-back.
I think it'll be a really, really interesting start at the end of the season where Joe Jackson has played the most minutes. Which position would he officially be? Oh, there comes the ball from next door. Oh, and attached to it is a complaint note.
Have fun, I've got another goal or two in them.
Bit of time.
And Little going in. It's going to come though for Hakeem Habib. Just dribbles around in circles for a minute and then changes direction. Now Ward. Sermon. Fleet pressed back by Farnham. And
Thanks very much.
it forces a mistake. Dean Rule is on a hat-trick, but Shamal Edwards is to his left. He'll fancy another as well. It's Edwards.
Good tackle. Good tackle, but again, you feel like Edwards should have done a bit better. At least force the goalkeeper into save as another Fleet Town player is down on the memorial deck.
Yeah, Luke Fair this time stricken. And it just prolongs the agony, really, all these stoppages.
Yes.
But what you would say about Farnham tonight, which maybe you couldn't say on the weekend, is they've been very professional and they've cut out the mistakes for the most part.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
They've not had as many chances as they did, so you can't really say they've been as wasteful. They could have had more, of course, but
Probably had more of the ball. Shearwater actually kept the ball for periods probably better than this Fleet team have. But, I can't take anything away from Fleet. It's a tough place to come. Farnham are riding high. Lots of quality, obviously missing a few key players. Let's not forget Daryl Sanders and Ryan Kinane aren't even in the squad this evening, neither is Lamar Karoma. Absolute mainstays of Farnham Town starting 11 this year. And Farnham have cruised. And that is the phrase I will use because it has been that. It is an absolute cruise to 5-0.
Dean Rule standing over a corner with 6 Farnham bodies in the area. But it's played short to Tanner. He floats it up. Too much on it.
Do you think that was a shot?
Nah, it was looking for Postons, I think. Tanner, not one you see shoot from distance very often.
Wrongly so.
Mark, take control. Guys, react.
As always, you hear Mark Waters, loud and clear, going up for it, and Dean Rule is on the end of it.
Off the perm for Dean Rule.
Little making the inside run. Hakeem Habib can try to clear and got that wrong. Waters, a bit behind Jackson. Now Kinsella.
Tanner's basically playing in the pivot, isn't he? He's picking out the ball from the centre backs. He's playing the Cooksey role.
Tanner running things at the moment.
I've enjoyed his performance.
Good minutes for him. Had to be patient at times this season, but it's paid off.
Ball that.
Ward's header. Second ball there to be won.
Another one off the perm. If he'd have headed it like that earlier, we'd have been 6-0 up.
Roll. Tanner. Postons wants it. And his flick
Wasn't a bad effort.
came from Manning. Sermon. And now Downing. Loose touch from him. And Farnham could transition here. But they're very patient.
Yeah, Farnham Town have been excellent the last 10 minutes. Not threatened a huge amount, but they've just been so in control.
Waters looking over the top for Edwards. Perfectly weighted from Waters.
Now play Kai.
He does. Jack Dean. Space to drive into now. Jack Dean, good effort. Trying to make something happen there, Jack Dean. And
Brilliant.
Tanner with a challenge.
Lewis Flatman, Kai Tanner's biggest cheerleader.
There he is! There he is!
And the flag stays down, though. It goes up now against Downing.
Let's go! Let's go! Do you work early? Do you work early? Big ball!
And Nash boots it out of play. Helped on there by Gray for Manning. Looking to work the yard for a cross. He did manage to do so, but Nash read it well, and he's looking for Edwards quickly. And Nunes lost his footing. That's only going to encourage Edwards to try and burst past him. Edwards keeps going. Nunes got back in well.
Where's the ball?
And Edwards with the tackle. Well, he's looking a new man, really, Shamal Edwards.
He's looked dangerous on the left wing, hasn't he? Bit of space in front of him to run into. Felt like he could have turned him a bit earlier. Nunes. Kick and run. That's a great knock.
It is, and it's over the top of Kalu. Dan Gray with Jackson to contend with now as well. Gets the throw in. Farnham have 5 minutes plus added time to hang on to this clean sheet, which would be very satisfactory without the captain and leader, Ryan Kinane.
A goal back for Naphill. 2-1 Tadley lead. A draw would change things dramatically. That's Croydon winning 3-0 away at Camberley.
Nothing dramatic about this game, though, in terms of it being a contest. Bone challenged Nash rather strongly.
He's on a yellow.
He is on a yellow. Had every right to go for it, and he might have came off worse. It's just whether the referee will see
He's not going to book him for that, I think.
see that as a fair attempt there from Bone, who has cut a frustrated figure all game. And you saw that with the tackle on Cooksey earlier, and going in on Pat Nash there. Paul Johnson not happy about it. Nash got back to his feet quite quickly, which probably helped the situation. And Bone came off worse.
Yeah, all of that, and he's still on the floor.
He's taking his time to regroup there. Dan Bone, who hasn't had much.
He's hardly touched the ball.
Much of an involvement at all.
Dan Bone does leave the field, but he has the permission of the referee to come back on at some stage. That Nap Hill result will be what matters the most in this playoff race if Tadley can hold on. I know you're not watching that game, but I am in front of me.
Has been a really impressive display from Farnham. This is no easy opposition. Fleet are very much...
They're in good form, Fleet. They're in good form.
Very much in the hunt for the playoffs, or at least they were before tonight. Adam Liddell has some space, and that's a well-weighted ball again for Edwards, who once more is threatening down that left flank. He's looking for Postance. Liddell's coming into the box. And that hit Nunes. Almost came for Postance. Still might. It's going to be a corner. It was a bit of pinball in there. And the tempo has definitely dropped. A couple of injuries, and both teams understand how this is going to finish. It's been quite clear from the off, really, since those opening couple of goals. This is only going to be one-way traffic. Can Farnham add another? Postance was going up. Kalu can launch it back in, maybe.
Did well, Brandon Kalu.
And only Joe Jackson, really, defending. Tanner getting back in.
Joe Jackson's done brilliantly. Joe Jackson's done absolutely brilliantly.
On the shade! Jaggery! Come on!
Adam Liddell. Dean
Oh!
Connect!
James, come on!
Huge amount of space for Adam Liddell on that one too. If Rory could have found him.
Didn't see him. Postance is going to chase that one back. He read where that was going. Almost forced another mistake. Here's Edwards. Keeps dribbling through Shamal Edwards. And he just laid it off to Postance, who's forced wide. Chance goes begging.
Difficult one. Slightly overhit pass, but it took a horrible bobble, didn't it?
Calmly done there by Jack Dean. And Kinsella has to be alert. Fortunate there for Farnham. No messing around there.
Thank God for that.
Nunes won the header there against Postance. Now Sermon looking to target Brandon Kalu, but he's dealt with it. We move into stoppage time.
Which probably means we're moving into stoppage time around the grounds. In the playoff race as well. Probably the most fascinating of the lot. This game is done and dusted.
Dean Rule.
Not sure that's not a foul.
No, they wanted it. No need to be too frustrated though, Dean Rule. Couple of goals and an assist for him tonight.
I think he's been the man of the match for me. Whether or not Paul Johnson picks him, but he's been fantastic, Dean Rule. Really has. Everything good has gone through him as well.
Yeah, the fact he's played 90 minutes does bring into doubt his starting availability for Thursday, but we'll see.
Probably expected a bit more of a physical contest from Croydon. Flatman and Owen Dean played so well against their back four here at the Memorial Ground only a couple of weeks ago. Maybe that's the front two that Paul Johnson's looking at, and the two that they're taking off the earliest in this game. But it would certainly make me question as to who will be in the holding midfield and attacking midfield roles. As Arsenal go 2-2 according to children to the left of me.
Adam Liddell.
He's been fantastic today as well, Adam Liddell.
And he's got 4 bodies in support. Cross just cut out though. Edwards can cushion that for Dean Rule.
Hit it, Ruley.
Tanner. Postance calls for it. Waters.
Great touch from Waters.
Liddell. And booted up into the air. And the referee calls a halt to a very, very straightforward win for Farnham Town. They win by 5-0. Some really splendid goals from Dean Rule, from Harry Cooksley, Adam Liddell with a tap in, and Shamal Edwards also making it 2-2 for him. He is clear now as Farnham's top goal scorer. Thanks very much for joining us on the stream. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on Thursday for Croydon in the Surrey Cup.
That's a reminder, Thursday, same time, same place, Surrey Cup. We'll see you here.